creating your first art book. Part 3, establishing a structure. So there's the planning phase, there's the execution phase, and then there's the distribution, right? So in the planning phase is what we were just talking about before. It's answering the why. What would be the themes? How would I go about it? It's about establishing a rough timeline of things, like how often are you going to be tackling on a project, especially if it's a personal one. One of the strongest ways to approach something like this is, you have to treat it like one of your clients, which means giving it a space on the board or on the calendar, dedicating specific hours to it, and how much would you dedicate to it versus your other clientele. I made it a point sometimes, especially when things got too busy and I found that I wasn't working on the project enough, that I would dedicate like a day, half a day, to working on it before jumping onto another project, just to kind of keep the momentum going so that things didn't get too stagnant. And things did, admittedly, but at the end of the day, the timeline was really a super useful tool to keep things on track. Establishing a hard deadline would be incredibly crucial. And that hard deadline didn't really come till almost well into the execution phase of my structure, right? Is there like a goal that I should set for myself to be like, okay, the book needs to be done by then so I can have it ready for an event, for example. This past year, I did Anime NYC for the first time, and having visited it last year, meeting some artists whom today I consider friends. Back then I met them for the first time. My goal was by 2025 Anime NYC, if I got in, I would have the book ready for distribution by then. And that gave me like a really hard deadline to work towards, and it definitely sped up the process for sure. When it comes to the planning to execution phase, if you want to realistically be honest with yourself and getting the execution done, you have to set a hard deadline at some point. Otherwise, you'll just be spinning your wheels for the longest time. Don't worry about it being too perfect. You could always refine later. Like, there's nothing wrong with putting out a product that has room for improvement, as long as it's a product that you are proud of.